Welcome Pak Rahmat, our CEO of PT Pupuk Indonesia. So this session is hosting by PT Pupuk Indonesia, and we're going to talk on the circular economy approach, as you can see on the screen, in decarbonizing hard-to-abate fertilizer industry. So we have a panel of fertilizer experts here, but before I introduce you to all of them, why don't we call our moderator who's going to lead the session. He's the VP of Research Planning Indonesia Fertilizer Research Institute. Please welcome Bapak Syawaluddin Akbar.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this special talk session of Pavilion Indonesia at CUP Dubai. I am honored to be here to share insight on decarbonization in fertilizer industry. Decarbonization program especially involves strategies and action to reduce carbon emission, increase energy efficiency, transition to renewable resources, and adopt more sustainable practices. Pupuk Indonesia, categorized as energy-intensive industries, has been exploring and implementing decarbonization initiatives to align with global climate goals and regulations. For instance, biomass co-firing technology in the existing coal boilers and integrating clean hydrogen technology in the existing ammonia plant, as well as empowering people community called Makmur program. I'm Syawaluddin Akbar, Vice President of Research Planning, Indonesia Fertilizer Research Institute. Today, I want to take you on a journey to explore the progress of decarbonization in Pupuk Indonesia. Our company is the biggest fertilizer producer in Southeast Asia. Therefore, it is critical for the company to adopt and promote decarbonization initiatives to combat climate change and foster sustainable development, including circular economy approach. To look more into detail about what Pupuk Indonesia through its sustainability has done, I would like to invite our distinguished speaker to the stage. First, please welcome Bapak Dwi Satrio Anurogo, President Director of Petrokimia. Give applause for Pak Dwi. The second, Ibu Arliza Eka Wijayanti, Senior Vice President of Business Transformation from Pupuk Kujang Cikampek. Please come to the stage. The third, Ibu Insia Meida from the Research Division of Pupuk Kalimantan Timur. Please come to the stage. She is representing Pak Indardi, who are not able to join us this afternoon. The fourth, Bapak Alfa Widiawan, Senior Vice President of Technology from Pupuk Sriwijaya Palembang. And the fifth, our external partner, Mr. Mark Mellum from Systemic. Please come to the stage. Okay. And now, without further ado, I would like to welcome the first speaker. We are starting from the eastern part of Indonesia, from PKG. Bapak Satrio Anurogo, as CEO of Petrokimia Gresik, will tell us the pathway of petrokimia towards industrial decarbonization. Please, Pak Dwi, the stage is yours.
Thank you, Mr. Syawal. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm happy to be here to introduce Petrokimia Gresik and the pathway program toward industrial decarbonization. Firstly, I would like to introduce Petrokimia Gresik. Next slide, please. Petrokimia Gresik, okay. Next slide, please. Sorry. May I have next slide, please? Oh, sorry. Yeah, okay. Okay. Petrokimia Gresik we have integrated 36 plants of chemicals and fertilizers in one area covered 550 hectares in Gresik in East Java. We produce ammonia, we produce sulfuric acid, we produce phosphoric acids. Also, we produce many kinds of fertilizers like urea, ammonium sulfate, and also NPK. So we are the most complete fertilizer producer in Indonesia. We are the member of the Indonesia Holding Company. We produce our main product is fertilizers. You know, fertilizer is the basic need for agriculture to produce food. Food is a basic need of us for us as a human being. Yeah. We produce fertilizers, but yeah, in the other hand, we realize that we release the carbon dioxide emission. Yeah, this part of the process of us. Yeah, we produce fertilizer, but in the other hand, we release the CO2 emissions. Yeah, yeah, and we refer to the our program. Yeah, we should reducing of the emission. We should change by step of our process. Yeah. Talking about the carbonization, this is two simple ways. In the simple, we have two programs. Firstly, to reduce the emission of the CO2. Secondly, we should change the process, and we replace all the activity and operations which produce carbon dioxide. We should change it to the final. Our destination is the net zero emissions. Yeah, this too simple. That is a two program. Yeah, a basic program of the decarbonization. Firstly, reducing, and then remove all the activity operation that produce or give the emission of CO2. So, with the two basic program, we have several programs step by step to the pathway to facing the net carbon emission, not net zero emission of carbon. This slide show our pathway in Petrokimia Gresik. In this year, 2023 and earlier, we already make some modification to make efficiency in the energy consumption. We capture the hydrogen and some of the fuel gas to be recycled, to be processed, so we can decrease the consumption of the natural gas. And we reduce coal consumption by before this we have two boilers of the power generator. We shut it one boiler, and we only operate one boiler. We substitute the power coming from the coal to the PLN. PLN is the state-owned electricity producer with the greener source of the power. And the renewable energy and electrification, we install the solar panel in our installations. In this year, we have 400 kilowatts. And the next year, we plan to have 2 megawatts solar panel. And also in the operational, we already bought the 150 electric motorcycle to replace fossil motorcycle. This is our program in this years and earlier. And then in the 2025 we have several programs like we switching the furnace coal for the fuel. We switch to the gas, and also we have the second step solar panel installations. We add up to the 2 megawatts. And also, we still have a coal furnace. Yeah, we will have a co-firing program with the biomass and also the ammonia. We will add ammonia as a fuel in the coal-fired boiler. And in the 2025, we will have two, I say the milestone of the our program in the decarbonization. Firstly, we have project of the sodium carbonate plant. Sodium carbonate plant is a capturing of the CO2 coming from the ammonia process as a raw material, and we react it with the ammonia and also the salt, and we can get the sodium carbonate. Besides, we can get co-product ammonium chloride. This is one kind of the fertilizer. So we can get not only reducing of the CO2 emission, but we capture it and we process it to be a product, the valuable product. Two product is sodium carbonate and also the ammonium chloride. And then we will have in 2027 we will have the hybrid green ammonia. You know, in the existing plant we use natural gas as a raw material, natural gas. And in the 2027 we have a collaboration with the Aqua by Pak Rahmat Pribadi as CEO of the Pupuk Indonesia. We will collaborate to modify it to be a hybrid raw material coming from hydrogen coming from the natural gas, and a part of this we substitute with the hydrogen coming from the electrolysis process. So this is green hydrogen, step by step, and then we will replace bigger and bigger, and then we will have a program to replacing our gray ammonia to be blue ammonia and the green ammonia in the 2031 and up to 2050 on earlier. Yeah. We need collaboration for the all of you. For the technology, academic researcher, and also all the people to get our target. And this is a global target to net zero emission. I think that's all from me to brief the pathway of the industrial decarbonization in petrokimia Gresik. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Pak Dwi. I think after the presentation, there will be a video will be shown from the control room, please. Just give 1 minute to change from the presentation to the video presentation.
Being Indonesia's largest and most complete fertilizer manufacturer, PT Petrokimia Gresik plays a crucial role in advancing the nation's agricultural development and ensuring food security, producing an impressive output of almost 10.9 million tons per year. Despite notable achievements, the company remains dedicated to supporting Indonesia's government on its mission to reduce greenhouse gases emission and accelerating the energy transition towards net zero emission by 2060. Generally, PT Petrokimia Gresik's carbon emissions primarily stem from the use of feedstock and energy fuels in its plants. One of them is natural gas. Within the ammonia plant, where natural gas is a key component in its processes, the carbon dioxide emissions generated amounts to over 1 million tons of carbon dioxide per year. PT Petrokimia Gresik has actively sought to diminish these specific emissions by efficiently repurposing them in subsequent product processes. It successfully applied at the urea plant, the ammonium sulfate treatment plant, and the liquid and dry ice carbon dioxide plant. PT Petrokimia Gresik also emphasizes the importance of decarbonization by transitioning its power source from coal to a more environmentally friendly alternative. By sourcing power from PTPLN, With a minimal usage of 9.2 megawatts, PT Petrokimia Gresik added huge numbers on greenhouse gases reduction. PT Petrokimia Gresik also entered into a sale and purchase agreement for renewable energy certificates with Pavilion and installed solar panels across 30 internal areas, boasting a total capacity of 471 peak kilowatts to support the operational of the company. More programs were applied by PT Petrokimia Gresik to pursue its decarbonization vision. Combining all these efforts, PT Petrokimia Gresik proudly announced a total reduction of carbon emissions of up to 1,225,253 tons of carbon dioxide equivalent. This significant impact is commendable, but PT Petrokimia Gresik is not stopping here. PT Petrokimia Gresik continues to develop plans in the future. Among them is the ammonia coal-firing system, which is anticipated to make more contribution on greenhouse gases reduction. The sodium carbonate plant, which also anticipated to have the same contribution. And last but not least, with the hybrid green ammonia phase 1 future project, PT Petrokimia Gresik aims to achieve zero carbon emissions in the near future. As PT Petrokimia Gresik keeps on moving forward, let's acknowledge these milestones and embrace the ongoing commitment to a cleaner and more sustainable future.
Yeah, all right, Pak Dwi. From your program, just you has just explained, it seems that petrokimia has already clear pathways towards the industrial decarbonization. You have mentioned here that to reduce the CO2 from the atmosphere, you are also will have new product called soda ash. It seems that it will be one of your flagship also, the soda ash project. Maybe could you tell the unique proposition of your project compared to the other initiative?
Yeah.
And beneficial the project to the company, especially for the Pupuk Indonesia as a group. Please, Pak.
Yeah, thank you. Yes, soda ash or sodium carbonate project is one of flagship to industrial decarbonization. Yeah, because not only we reduce the CO2 emission, but we capture it, the CO2 emissions, to be a raw material of the process to produce sodium carbonate. So there is a circular economy on there. Not only capturing, not only not only capturing, not only decreasing, but we convert the emissions to be the valuable product. We have two products of the capturing of the carbon dioxide in the process of the sodium carbonate. Firstly, we can get sodium carbonate. Sodium carbonate is the commodity chemicals as used to be used to in glass and ceramic industry and also detergent. And beside the sodium carbonate, we get the ammonium chloride. Ammonium chloride is the one kind of the fertilizer. So we can get more of revenue, yeah, coming from the product. We have two products coming from the, not only the capturing, but we convert to the valuable product. And this is a circular economy. So I think this is one of milestone of the ours, yeah, Petrokimia Gresik, in the pathway to reducing emission, but not only reducing, but convert to be a valuable product. Yes.
Yeah, it seems we have already the CO2 trapped on the glass and then will not release again to the atmosphere. Thank you, Pak Dwi, for addressing my questions. And now we are moving to the western part of Indonesia. We have already here Ibu Arliza. It is become more interesting to hear from her on how decarbonization play important roles for the future fertilizer industry. Please welcome Bu Arliza, Senior Vice President of Business Transformation. The stage is yours, Bu.
Thank you, Pak Syawal, the moderator, for the opportunity given to me. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. May peace and Allah blesses upon us. Ladies and gentlemen, it is an honor to me to speak here, to have the opportunity to speak in front of you, to address our effort, more importantly in the scope 3 of greenhouse gas emissions. So in this presentation, I will outline not only our company's strategic initiative spanning in scope 1 and scope 2, but also in scope 3, where we put more effort beyond production into our future product and also market into our market side. Pupuk Ujang is one of Pupuk Indonesia subsidiary. We are located in Cikampek, West Java. We have 2 ammonia and urea plants with total capacity 660,000 metric tons ammonia annually and 1,140,000 metric ton urea annually. We also have 2 NPK plant, steam granulation plant, which produce a total capacity of 200,000 metric ton NPK annually. And notably, we are the sole fertilizer company in Indonesia, which is located in landlocked area. We have no port. We are not located in a waterfront. It is a benefit and also something that we have to think about in some of our company operations. But we are surrounded by the top 3 paddy rice producing regencies in Indonesia. So we are in the center of the fertilizer market, especially in paddy rice fertilizer. Well, in our commitment to decarbonize in scope 1 and scope 2 emission, we already have our roadmap towards net zero emission, and we expect to achieve it within the target year 2060, but we also expect that we can achieve the target earlier before. We divide our strategic initiative into 4 periods. Within current period, our focus in new and renewable energy sourcing. We currently have, we currently use new and renewable energy sources for our fertilizer plant, working with PTPLN and also Perum Jasa Tirta. And also we already implement solar PV for electricity in our office buildings. And then, of course, we also try to revitalize our old facilities. We have 1 old ammonia and urea facilities using old technologies, and we are now working on a proposal to Pupuk Indonesia to replace this old plant with the new one so that we can improve our total energy efficiency. Our third initiative in scope 1 and scope 3 are in blue and green ammonia. We are still working on it because we plan to implement it in the next period. But we already working on some studies with some technology licensors. We also plan to, we also implement and plan some CCS and CCUS, and also, of course, we always prioritize energy efficiency as part of our effort to enhance our overall sustainability. We realized that Pupuk Ujang as a fertilizer company is mostly produce emission which is controllable, but mostly it is in the manufacturing process. But we also recognize that the broader impact of our supply chains will also give some impact on greenhouse gas emission. Therefore, despite being a hard-to-abate industry, we also extend our responsibility beyond production through research and some marketing activities. We actively engage in collaboration with Indonesia Fertilizer Research Institute to develop some greener fertilizer product. And also, we have some commitment. It is also a part of Pupuk Indonesia program. We call it Makmur program. As we know, in Indonesia, agricultural activities account for approximately 30% of total greenhouse gas emissions. And recognizing that impact, Pupuk Indonesia launched a program called Agro Solution in 2020. It was originally initiated by Pupuk Kalimantan Timur, but then it is adopted by all 5 fertilizer company under Pupuk Indonesia Group. And in 2021, it was declared as Makmur program by Ministry of State-owned Enterprises. It's signifying a commitment from not only Pupuk Indonesia, but also from Ministry of State-owned Enterprises to prosperity, while also actively addressing sustainability of the agricultural business and agricultural sector in Indonesia. It is fundamentally an intensive support initiative for farmers, where we emphasize sustainable agricultural practices aligned with the triple bottom line: people, profit, and planet. So we consider that fertilizer will not only give the farmers a profit, but also we need to do some action to help the agricultural activity surviving the planet future. We involve the whole supply chain in the Makmur program, and we try to support the agricultural activity by advanced technology and this holistic approach. We try to do as our commitment for the well-being of the farmers, economic viability, and environmental sustainability. This Makmur program aims to improve productivity of the farm field so that farmers can harvest more with the optimal use of agro input, including fertilizer, on the same field area. So this approach aims not only to maximize the farmer's profit, but also to minimize the amount of CO2 produced per unit of agricultural product, contributing to more environmentally friendly and efficient use and efficient farming process. In the realm of research and product development, our focus is on creating environmentally friendly fertilizer for farmers. We are collaborating with Pupuk Indonesia, IFRI, Indonesian Research Fertilizer, for doing some research on controlled release fertilizer and biofertilizer research. We also develop an ongoing project on nitrate-based NPK project. A nitrate-based NPK project actually will minimize the emission of CO2 in the farming area, because the fertilizer doesn't contain any carbon in the product itself, even though the process is still related to carbon footprint. In controlled release fertilizer, we already define, based on our research and on farm trials, that using this kind of fertilizer, we are adding at around 11 to 12% of coating thickness. It can reduce a potential, it can give a potential reduction in CO2 emission at around 2 to 26% compared to standard fertilizer for application up to 28 days since we use the fertilizer in the farm field. But the amount of CO2 emission using this CRF product certainly vary according to so many factors. Another approach that we try to give more benefit to the farmer and also to create more efficient agricultural activity is creating some customized formula, fertilizer formula, so that farmer can use fertilizer at the right amount and also at the right dosage. We already have some specific NPK formulation for paddy rice field, for sugarcane, and for palm fruit. In the other hand, for our main product, urea, we also consider to we do some cradle to grave product life cycle assessment. So our urea product currently declared as an environmentally friendly product. We have an APD certification that declared that our urea product is have a very low level of biorate and heavy metal content. Furthermore, the combination of greener fertilizer application and the implementation of an integrated business model has proven to enhance yield and farmers' revenue. In our Makmur program, covering approximately 37,000 hectares of paddy rice, sugarcane, and cornfields in Banten province, West Java, and some area in Central Java. All the participating farmers mostly have experienced yield increase and also at the same time agro input reduction per yield compared to their standard practices. This is not only boost agriculture productivity, but also align with the government, the Indonesian government commitment to decarbonize the agricultural sector, particularly in the use of synthetic fertilizer. We also try to endorse the implementation of balanced fertilizer, using the balanced fertilizer between synthetic fertilizer, organic fertilizer, and biofertilizer within this Makmur program. In summary, our decarbonization framework encompasses Scope 1, Scope 2, and Scope 3 emission. And this commitment reflects our dedication to align with government ENDC and achieve net zero emission by 2060. We actively working towards a sustainable and environmentally responsible value chain.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Great, Bu Arliza, for the explanation. It seems that the initiative is not only focusing on Scope 1 and Scope 2, but also Scope 3, that main source of the decarbonization for fertilizer industry. It covers almost 60%. It's good that you are here, have initiative regarding the research on the greener fertilizer like CRF, SRF, and so on. So it's like an initiative to reduce the emission on Scope 3. Based on this, your explanation, just give a key point of your answer because we are almost running out of the time. What is the green properties that are attached to pupuk kujang fertilizer product, and how you certify the properties afterwards as a sustainable product?
Okay, as I mentioned earlier, that our urea product is already already have environmentally APD, environmentally product declaration that declares that our product has a very low bio-red content and also low heavy metal contents. It is also meet the standard, national and also international standard. And on the other side, we also endorse the implementation of balanced fertilizer. As I mentioned earlier, by using this Makmur program, we try to promote using of balanced fertilizer. So Pupuk Ujang not only provide synthetic fertilizer, urea and NPK, but we also promote to the farmers to use organic and biofertilizer as well.
Okay, thank you, Bu Arliza. It means that the efficient fertilizer, after using this one, you will have the delta regarding the amount of the fertilizer with the same productivity, implying the lower emission in the atmosphere afterwards from the scope 3. Okay, thank you for your insight, Bu Arliza. And now we are talking about the decarbonization actions. PT Pupuk Kalimantan Timur, as the largest urea producer among Pupuk Indonesia Group, has its own story and challenges. Please give warm welcome to Bu Maida. Bu Maida, stage is yours.
Okay. Thank you, Pak Syawal. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to start by thanking Pupuk Indonesia for conducting this session at Pavilion Indonesia. And allow me to convey apology from Mr. Indardi. He cannot join this meeting, this event today, but I hope I'm okay, yeah? Sure. Okay, let's start. Let me introduce myself. My name's Insyah Maida. Actually, it's a great honor for me to sit in here together with all distinguished speakers, all my mentors, and representing Pupuk Kalimantan Timur. And of course, in this special moment for me, I'd like to share how Pupuk Kaltim is trying to take big step in decarbonization through covering biomass in coal-fired boilers. So, okay, this is decarbonization initiatives. So as part of the world community, we know that Indonesia has declared its commitment to mitigate with climate change, and it's clearly stated in Indonesia's nationally determined contribution in 2022 by setting the target emission reduction in 2030. So this commitment has been translated into several policies, and in our company, Pupuk Kalimantan Timur, we realized that ESG implementation is a route to accelerate the NDC's accomplishment. Why is that? Because ESG represents how Pupuk Kaltim will contribute to reduce GHG emissions and also how to adapt to its impact. And at this point, according to ESG risk rating in 2023, held by Sustainalytics, Pupuk Kaltim's score is 21.3, which is we have a medium or moderate ESG risk. So, ladies and gentlemen, currently the total GHG emissions of Pupuk Kaltim is 4 million tons per year, and we commit to reduce 32% of total GHG emission in 2030. Actually, this is our roadmap of decarbonization, and we will try to achieve the setting target in 2030. And you know, this decarbonization initiatives, actually we have 4 decarbonization initiatives that is already initiated in 2023, such as co-wiring in coal-fired boilers, second solar-powered building, the third electrical vehicle conversion, and the last is community forest. It's about tree planting program. And for the next initiatives that will be started in 2025, we have revamping ammonium plant, to make gas consumption being more efficient. And then the second is soda ash plant by utilizing CO2. So ladies and gentlemen, if you see on the screen, the green highlight is about co-firing in coal-fired boilers. Why we choose this program? We start this program because we know that coal combustion in boilers actually contributed 46% of our total GHG emission in Pupuk Altim. So let's discuss further about the co-firing. Okay, this co-firing, actually, basically co-firing is conducted by adding biomass as a partial substitute fuel into coal boiler. And the outcome is to reduce GHG emission, but also to increase the renewable energy, the use of renewable energy to produce cleaner energy in Pupuk Kalimantan Timur. Why we choose biomass co-firing? Considering that biomass energy technology is easily implemented in our existing facility without any additional investment, significant investment, I mean. And moreover, our type of boiler is using circulating fluid gas bed, which is, it has valuable option for its solid fuel flexibility. And in addition, Pupuk Kalimantan Timur lies in East Kalimantan. We are surrounded by plenty of oil palm plantation. It means we have a potential biomass from oil palm. Okay, actually we have done some trials so far, and we were using the trunks and the fronds and the leaves of the oil palm. It has been conducted up to 2% of coal substitution, and we are preparing to do 5% of coal substitution through co-firing. And so far, based on our trials, co-firing can reduce 2 tons CO2 per ton biomass. Furthermore, if Pupuk Altim running continuously about co-firing, we will substitute 25,000 tons coal consumption per year, and it equals to 50,000 tons CO2 per year. Pretty nice, right? So Pupuk Altim wants to escalate the coal substitution more than 5%, of course. But we know and we understand that to assure the continuity of co-firing, we need the biomass supply needs, the availability, and it will be the next challenge, our next challenge. So right now, we maintain our biomass supply needs by collaborating with our subsidiary. Actually, it's oil palm plantation company, and this is the most important thing is we try to empower the oil palm farmers community near Pupuk Altim to supply to Pupuk Altim the biomass that we can that being feedstock for co-firing. So ladies and gentlemen, in this very special moment for me, I'd like to share also that Pupuk Altim has developed a zero emission dashboard, where in the system actually we can monitor the data of each emission produced and monitoring the progress and to see the result of each decarbonization initiative year by year. So as seen on the screen, for the blue line and blue circle, it actually shows that this is our decarbonization plan in 2024. And the right side, so with co-firing with 1 to 5% of coal substitution, we plan that co-firing, we try to co-firing to contribute as much as 25% of our carbon reduction in 2024. So in conclusion, actually, overall, through our decarbonization initiative, Pupuk team will support the NDC's accomplishment, Indonesia NDC's accomplishment, and the big goal of Pupuk Indonesia. And to face this challenge, we know that there are several challenges in here, but we actually have two parameters that have been settled. First, for the applicable technology, as I mentioned before, we have boiler that can support up to 100% of co-firing, and availability of materials. We have abundance. We are surrounded by oil palm plantation. So our next challenge is how to get lower total cost of ownership and develop circular economy. Because Pupuk team believe that as our target to expand co-firing, to do co-firing continuously, we believe that it's not just the beneficial impact for Pupuk team, but also to the community near Pupuk team. That's all.
Okay,
thank
you very much, Bu Maida, for the presentation. You highlighted your co-firing biomass in the existing boiler as your priority or your flagship that what you have just presented right now. You plan to increase. Right now you have 5% in the thermal share in the existing boiler, but in the future we will try to increase the share 5%, 10%, and so on. Co-firing, every company that has boiler, they want to use this technology. You know, the availability of biomass is very limited in the market. And in this situation, what is your strategy in order to escalate the coal substitution by co-firing of biomass? How to get the biomass from the market with the situation?
Okay, thank you, Pak Syawal. Hopefully I can answer that. Okay, so actually, supply chain is being the majority problem for co-firing. And we understand that. That's why, as I mentioned before, the most important is how to empower oil palm farmers community near Pupuk team. Actually, we have the baseline that how the volume that our subsidiary can supply. But actually, we have to educate the community that from the unused materials, Pupuk team use the frond and the leaves and a part of oil palm, that unused materials, we want to change it, turn it into something economical. So this will boost the value chain. So it will create shared value also, not only just for Pupuk team, because Pupuk team will be the industrial side. We want the biomass is on specification and the price must be competitive. But this is a win-win solution. We share the value to the community so the community can provide us with the specification that we want.
Okay, you will try to generate the community interest to apply the biomass to you then afterwards. Okay, thank you, Bu Maida. And now we have last representative from Pupuk Indonesia Group. We have here Pak Alfa, Senior Vice President of Technology. Pak Alfa will explain regarding their strategic trajectory on their decarbonization. But unfortunately, we almost running out of the time. Please give your presentation in 5 minutes if possible. The stage is yours, Pak Alfa. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Alfa Widiawan. I am from Pupuk Sriwijaya Palembang. I will share about PUSRI program to support decarbonization, including waste management plan to approach the circular economy program. Okay, this is our company profile of Pupuk Sriwijaya Palembang. PUSRI is a subsidiary company in Pupuk Indonesia Group. We are the first fertilizer company in Indonesia. We have main product, urea, ammonia, and NPK. Urea capacity is about 2.6 million ton in a year. We are the second biggest company of fertilizer in Indonesia. Okay, this is our decarbonization history from 1981 to 2020. We have a program that can reduce GHG and also saving energy. In 2012, we have awarded ASEAN Energy Award in 2012. Okay, what is but next? PUSRI have many programs to decrease the emission until 2030. The first is PUSRI 3B plan to replace the old plan. The new plan is have save energy about 35% more efficient compared to the old one. It can reducing GHG emission about almost 700,000 tons CO2. It will be fully operational in 2026. And also we using waste from fly ash and bottom ash, NPK fertilizer filler that can reduce GHG emission about 500 tons CO2 equivalent. Also, we explore the renewable energy such as solar cell for electricity and 2 electric vehicle in our company. We also do some community forest, and the target is about 25% in 2030, excluding the energy efficiency program. If we included that, I believe the reduce of GHG is up to 31% in 2030. Okay, not only decarbonization is our priority in our company, but we also commit to support the environment and society. We have a program, social innovation called name CESERA. CESERA is a health and prosperous program. The location of the CESERA program is in Kemarau Island. The location is about 1.5 kilometer away from Pupuk Sriwijaya. This program uses renewable energy for public facility that can also increase the economic condition of the people. From this program, we have the electricity and fuel consumption reduction. And also, this program, CESERA program, have awarded a gold category from Environment Ministry in 2022. Now we talk about the global condition. About the food waste. In the world, we have 1.3 billion tons of global food waste produced in 2022. What about in Indonesia? We have about 28 million tons of food loss waste and organic waste in a year. It's about 42% of total waste in Indonesia. According to the national state, we have lost economic loss about $15 billion per year. So what happens if we don't manage our food waste properly? The impact is extreme, such as carbon emission, soil degradation, air pollution, health problem, environment damage, and so on. If we don't manage the such as carbon emission, it can produce methane that have effect of global warming is about 20 times higher than CO2 itself. So we know the problem, so we have to be part of the solution. How to decentralize waste that can use low-tech facilities. At the same time, how to educate people and community. The benefit, if we can solve the problem, is in environment aspect, social aspect, better quality of life, and education. This is our action for the part of solution of food waste. This is integrated food waste management that can move the circular economy in PUSRI. Our facilities is called gardenship. The main goal of gardenship is to compost the food waste, decentralize waste, and also educate the community. We implementing circular economy concept to run the system. If we have look the diagram, we can see that we do mapping the waste resource in the first stage. The type of waste managed are organic and non-organic waste. The non-organic waste is sent to waste bank to be sent to landfill, and the organic waste is processed to garden ship to be the product is liquid fertilizer, vermicompost, and worm. The outcome is then sold, and the benefit of the product is going to be finish the waste plant and pay the workers. About the capacity, our garden ship has capacity about until 192 tons per year that can reduce the emission carbon about 146 tons of CO2. Firstly, we operate garden ship in March. The first waste is we manage is about 16 kilograms, and now in the October we can manage about 3.4 tons of waste. Okay. In this picture, we can see this is Mr. Andrew. He is from Australia. He is an expert of composting, about 45 years experience of composting. He is teaching the student to explain how to manage the waste management plan. The waste management plan is also have a function of a venue of the education to especially to student, to environment enthusiasts, and also the public in Palembang. We hope our waste plan can be a role model from role model in waste management system. We aim to raise people awareness and enforce the environment protection through our waste management and sustainable practices, which also give back circular economy to the people. We have high hope that this program will inherit and continue in the future. Okay, thank you for.
Okay, thank you very much, Pak Alpha, for your presentation. We don't have too much time anymore. If we have time later, we can ask a final question for you. But let's move to our external partner here from Systemic, Pak Mark Meldum. Mark is a leader of sustainable finance energy platform Systemic, with a particular focus on accelerating capital investment into sustainable energy infrastructure, often leveraging blended finance solution. Please, the stage is yours for your presentation, Mark.
Perfect, thank you. And thank you for having me on the panel to join you to discuss decarbonization of the fertilizer sector. It's a privilege. So as mentioned, I focus on the energy side of things, and so essentially how we decarbonize the ammonia component, which is where the link comes into the energy system, but also, and that's the primary content of the material. But if you want to talk about industrial heat as well, given some of the processes that were referenced, very happy to discuss that too. So this is going to be kind of a macro global picture of you, so that to provide a bit of a reference point as you guys think about, you know, relative to global decarbonization pathways, everything that you're doing, which is all fantastic, by the way. In many moments, I thought, you know, that makes sense. So good stuff. But you might see some things that you think, oh, okay, maybe we could go faster on this. Maybe we could, you know, skip this intermediate step and go straight to the final solution type of thing. So this is just briefly scene setting. Fertilizer demand kind of grows steadily, as I'm sure you all know, and probably most of the audience knows, driven by population and overall income growth. Emissions and decarbonization pathways. So for a player like yourselves, obviously, scope 1, 2 in your fertilizer production facilities, but very good that you're also focused on your downstream scope 3 with the farmers, because as again has been highlighted already, a significant part of the equation. And then just to say, in terms of kind of broader pressure within the system, all the way down to food manufacturers, retailers, commodity traders, et cetera, they look back upstream to you guys as part of their upstream scope 3. And so, you know, when we think about things like products in Indonesia that are so agricultural commodities that are exported, like palm, well, or others that use fertilizer intensively, and being exported into regions that are focused on CO2, they're going to be thinking about, okay, as I bring this agricultural commodity into the EU, for example, what were the upstream emissions associated with that? So good that you're kind of, you know, have your eye on this and are seeing, and that, but just to call out that is one of the pressures that's coming into the system. From a global, you know, how much does this matter within the global decarbonization agenda? The answer is a lot. So what you see on the far right-hand side is 0.6 from essentially what is your scope 1 and 2, and 0.6 from what is essentially your scope 3 with the farmers. Gigatons of emissions globally, and the total figure that we have as the world is on the left, the 53.2. So this is 2% of global emissions, which almost nothing gets that high, right? Like aviation is 2%. And we talk a lot about aviation and how we decarbonize that. So there is, you know, there aren't sectors that really push significantly beyond that, except for power, obviously. And so this is a big deal. The next slides are going to focus in on the first component here, which is the mineral fertilizer production. So how do we get to clean ammonia? So we wrote a report as Systemic last year, focused on pathways for clean ammonia. And so what you'll see in the 3 different columns, obviously business as usual, and then lowest cost and fastest abatement. And so the difference between those two that you'll notice is in the fastest abatement, there is, it's all green ammonia. Basically because blue ammonia doesn't have 100% reduction. But in the lowest cost, there's more blue ammonia, basically because, not specifically because it would be cheaper green fields, but more so because there are a lot of, you know, you can take an existing SMR facility and put CO2 capture on it. So it's kind of, it's not cheap, obviously, but it's incremental capex as opposed to building whole new production. So, you know, as you guys think about how you get to clean ammonia, I suspect some of those trade-offs are coming into play, right? I'll try to go quicker. This is a cost curve on green ammonia, basically to say between those two, green ammonia costs are coming down fast. Blue ammonia won't change that much. CCS infrastructure has never shown any evidence of a cost curve in all of the years that we've been trying to deploy CCS, whereas electrolyzers that produce hydrogen are coming down the cost curve fast. They're expected to come down by about 80% in terms of cost for capex for an electrolyzer this decade. And then so quickly tipping the system, taking a global view at this, the key number at the top there is 15 million tons of potential supply of global ammonia by just announced. It's safe to assume that most of these plants, if they do convert and get built, would be built kind of in the 2028 time zone when they would come online. So lots happening. Now, TBD how many of these actually do end up being built. But I would say that within the hydrogen space, green ammonia for fertilizer is one of the sectors that is moving the fastest. This is part of the reason why, which is, I won't explain this whole chart in detail, but the key kind of message here is amongst the sectors that are looking to use hydrogen products to decarbonize, so things like fertilizer or green ammonia also for shipping fuel, or hydrogen for steel production, or synthetic hydrocarbons for aviation, the green premium, quote unquote, as in how much does it cost to switch to the green product today relative to, so like using green, in this case using green ammonia instead of gray ammonia, the green premium is lowest, and we can close that green premium gap fastest and soonest in fertilizer relative to the other sectors. So a lot of people are looking to the fertilizer sector as the one that can, with financial support, et cetera, bring the volumes of green hydrogen forward that get us down that cost curve to these numbers. Actions by 2025 and 2030, I won't go through this slide. And then lots of investment to make this happen. The big chunk of the green stack there to produce green ammonia is in renewables that deliver the electricity to run the electrolyzers. That's where most of the investment would go. So that's that. So maybe just quickly to pull it back here, we talked about some of the links to green and blue and decisions that you guys will be making. I would also say on industrial, so I think both there and generally with some of your industrial heat, I think one of the key questions for you guys is going to be, do we skip straight to an end state solution? Or do you take kind of the semi-step via gas? And my contention certainly would be that numbers are moving to a place where frequently just going straight to the final solution often makes sense.
Okay, thank you very much, Mark, for your comprehensive explanation. I have one question for you. You have heard the initiative that has been done by our subsidiaries here and the father plan actually. In your opinion, compared to the other global fertilizer industry, global industry, what is your opinion? If we are still on the track and it makes sense to achieve our net zero emission in 2060 and then previously in NDC in 2030?
Yep.
That's your opinion.
So I would say if it's a question of 2060, I can see how your pace of delivery now, it's kind of, it feels like a first steps element. Some of the numbers are bigger, but some of it is, okay, let's do a little bit of this to get to know it, and then we can scale. I can see how that could meet. Relative to other players globally, probably no surprise to you, there are others moving a lot faster. So the likes of Yara, OCI, CF Industries, the names essentially that were on that map of getting to 15 million tons green ammonia, plants that are being designed, like these are massive scale plants with investments that are being considered and starting to go in now, right? And so they're already at that scale stage. They, a number of these things benefit significantly from, for example, the US IRA, right? Or the carbon tax in Europe that make these things more financially viable. But just to say, in a world where there becomes increasing pressure on what is the embedded carbon within an agricultural commodity, for example, those players will be better positioned. And so if you're thinking about your own competitive position in that version, and how much pressure that may or may not come to bear, and when, you may want to think about going faster.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mark. It seems that we are not going faster about decarbonization because there are other companies in the world that are already far in front of us, and then we don't know.
Not far. You could, but yeah.
Okay, a bit far, but we cannot expect it what happen in the future. The regulation getting strengthened and so on. It may seem that it's a must to faster up our decarbonization initiative afterwards. Okay, we are already at the end of our session today. Let's wrap up our talk session as follows. First, Pupuk Indonesia recognizes the imperative to align with government objectives, aiming to contribute towards achieving the national determined contribution by 2030 and attaining net zero emission by 2030. Mr. Dwi, for example, from Petrokimia Gresik, had defined clear pathway for industrial decarbonization. And the second, in alignment with government goals, Pupuk Indonesia has undertaken various decarbonization initiatives. This effort focused not only on reducing carbon emission from scope 1 and 2, but also address scope 3 emissions, acknowledging the significant role played by the company in the fertilizer industry. Bu Arliza with Pupuk Kujang is currently engaged in ongoing research aimed to developing environmentally friendly fertilizer, such as control-release fertilizer and slow-release fertilizer. Additionally, they are actively integrating an agribusiness model to promote sustainable agriculture. Third, as explained by Bu Meida, actually, Pupuk Indonesia has identified two primary sources of carbon emission, process emission or IPPU and energy-related emission. The company has identified constraints on implementation and has devised a strategic plan to effectively overcome these challenges. For example, Bu Meida with Pupuk Kalimantan Timur has identified the supply of biomass as a potential bottleneck for biomass co-firing in existing boiler, but they only know how to resolve the problem. And the fourth, Pupuk Indonesia can promote the concept of a circular economy by empowering local communities through decarbonization initiative. Pak Alfa with Pupuk Sriwijaya Palembang has empowered local communities to transform both organic and organic waste into valuable commodities. In one hand, they generate the circular economy. In the other hand, they are reducing the carbon because of organic fertilizer, improve the quality of the soil. Then we will have the balance of the uses of the chemical fertilizer. And then the fifth, Mark has explained to us our initiatives are in line with those comparable global industry, but we are still not faster enough in order to anticipate the future. And we are, of course, to achieve net zero emission by 2060. Some enhancements have been identified for our initiative in the upcoming years. Okay, that's all. I would like to, maybe we have here, we don't have enough time anymore. So that's all. I think I have everything. Again, thank you very much for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.